What's
Hi,
up, Kat?
hi, Hallie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And so you're with the band Zebrahead. Can I ask how long Zebrahead have been doing this?
Oh, it's been a while. We first started playing together in '95, so almost 140 years.
Wow, that is a long time. You must be getting tired.
Yeah, 1895. So it's been a while.
You personally, did you always know that you were going to be in a band?
No, actually, that was probably one of the last things I ever thought I would end up doing for a career. I was studying to be a doctor, actually, when I joined the band.
Really? That's
Yeah,
handy.
I was. I had a year to apply to medical school and take my MCAT and stuff, and I started playing with Ben, who was an old high school friend of mine. He was in bands most of his life. So I started playing with him and met the rest of the guys, and we got very lucky and got a record deal. So it kind of changed everything for me.
Well, I'm sure that when you do a show that you have a lot of moshing and crowd surfing and that, does the doctor in you ever come out?
Only when I get hurt, I look for a doctor. That's the only time.
You don't want to jump down in the crowd and bandage everyone.
Oh God, no! I encourage the washing.
Oh, that's good. Has Zebrahead played in Australia before?
Yeah, we did Soundwave a couple of years ago, and then we came back and we did a tour with Real Big Fish and Goldfinger last year, and then now we're coming back to do Soundwave once again.
Are you doing side shows, do you know?
We did last time. I'm hoping we do again this time, but I haven't heard anything yet.
And you guys, of course, are from America, but before you do reach Australian shores, you're going everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, we're going to Brazil for the first time too. So it's a pretty packed schedule until we come to visit you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a quiet ride, I'm assuming.
No, we're very loud and obnoxious, so it's not quiet.
What's it like in the tour bus? Do you get on each other's nerves or is it fun?
We've been doing this for so long now that we've kind of figured out how to coexist with each other without getting on each other's nerves. So it's pretty good, actually. Everybody's, pretty good friends, and it's like a family, So all of our crew guys are good friends of ours, and they have been touring with us for a long time. So it's pretty fun, actually. We look forward to touring.
I'm going to make you really think now because, like, you have been doing this for over 100 years, as you said. Can you remember a moment that stands out that you wanted someone to pinch you because you didn't believe it was real?
Yeah, there's been several of those. Let me think. I think one that kind of sticks out is we did the Woodstock Festival a few years back in Poland when our last album came out. And when we played, I believe there was, from what they told us, there was 500,000 people at the venue. And it was insane walking on stage. And as far as I could see, the very back, it was just people. And it was like, like Lord of the Rings, where they have all this, like, special effects, CGI, like people, like, fighting everywhere. It looked kind of like that. So
Oh.
I'm like, I can't believe there's so many people here. So that was one of those moments where I remember looking around to the rest of the guys in the band, and like most of us had our jaws had dropped because there were so many people there.
Wow. Yeah, that must be amazing, like to feel that energy from the people too that you get up on stage.
Yeah, it was insane. It was a great experience, and something I don't think any of us will forget.
No. And hopefully one day you'll get to recreate.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. I think if you got a crowd like that in Australia, you'd probably have the entire city at the show.
Yeah. Well, is there any way you can make that happen, Kat? I mean, that'd be great. We'd really appreciate it.
We'll make sure that everyone shows up for your set.
Awesome, awesome.
So can I ask what inspires Zebrahead's writing?
I think it's different every time. I think for this last album, we had the addition of Dan Palmer, who joined the band because Greg, our old guitar player, had a little girl, so he wanted to stay home and kind of help raise her. So when Dan joined the band, we started writing the new album, and I think we were really inspired to try to kind of one-up our last album, or as it turned out, we even wanted to make it the best album we'd ever written. So we were really encouraged just because, Dan is a very positive person and he's always working really hard. And I think he helped push us to, really try to make a good album. And so it was this album, I know we were inspired, very positive and like we had a lot of energy. I remember like working in the studio and everybody was very like enthusiastic, and even like we'd be at home at like 2 a.m. and somebody would text somebody else and go, hey, this song, this bridge could be like this, or this guitar riff, what if it was more like this? So it was always like this very positive, like energetic work environment when we were writing. So, but it's different, sometimes I remember when we were writing MFDB, it was like, it was for having, different issues, and it was a darker album, and I think that album in general is a little bit darker. So I think it's where, what we're experiencing when we're writing the album, and, where everybody's at personally, that always manages to work itself into the songs.
And obviously you're inspired by pretty young girls. Looking at the album cover you've got out at the moment, people can go to zebrahead.com and check that out and buy the album there too. Yeah, and it's crazy. We played a show at home a couple of days ago, and my friend comes up to me and he goes, the girl who's on your cover, she used to date my brother. And I met the girl who was on our cover through a friend who just saw her at a club, like at the Viper Room, and we approached her to see if she would like to be on the cover of the album. But she dated my friend's brother years ago, and so it's like this small crazy world where I knew her through a friend and I didn't even know it. Yeah, it is like when you're going from an absolute sea of people who you don't know, and then in your personal life and your career, it's a small world. Strange. Yeah, it really is. And people can also find you on facebook.com/Zebrahead, which is going to lead me to ask why the name Zebrahead. Well, like I said, when we were first started playing music together, none of us really thought that this was going to be something that we were going to be able to do for a career. So we got a show, our very first show. It wasn't even a show. We had written one song, and we were going to go play the show, but we didn't have a name. And I had watched a movie called Zebrahead like the night before, and we went to this place called Kinko's out here where they like can make you like print something on a T-shirt. So we went to print the T-shirt. I'm like, let's just call ourselves Zebrahead. And I just saw this movie and I thought the name sounded cool. And so we made the T-shirt, and on the flyer it said Zebrahead, and then it just kind of stuck. And then we were so lazy, went back and changed it. And 140 years later, it's still Zebrahead. And you will, of course, be in Australia in February. The Soundwave Festival starts on the 22nd in Brisbane, and it will be in Melbourne on the 28th of February. There's an absolutely massive lineup on the Soundwave Festival. Is there anyone there that you really want to see play? Of course, I'm a big Green Day fan like everybody else. So, Green Day, I Do Remember, AFI, Less Than Jade, Bowling for Soup, who are friends of ours. But yeah, there's just so many bands out here that I'm excited. So I'm gonna be going to a lot of the different. So basically, if people keep an eye out in the massive crowds that we're going to get there, they might find you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll be the drunk one acting like an idiot in the corner. I think you'll be one of the drunk ones acting like an idiot. I think there might be more than a few of them there. That's a very good point, Kat. That's a very good point. But hopefully you won't be so drunk and silly that you'll get kicked out before your set. Yeah, and that's actually happened before, so I'll try to make an effort to not let that happen. Oh, please don't. That would be no fun at all if you weren't up there. That would be not fun for me at all, no. Is there something you would like to say to your fans? Absolutely. The thing is, I think since we started the band, been trying to come to Australia. A lot of our friends' bands would go and just tell us how great it was there. And I think because we have fans in Australia and they voiced out that they wanted us there, we got invited to Soundwave a couple of years ago. And, when we played, all the fans came out and they showed support for us. So we got asked back again to do a tour with
Golfing a Real Big Fish. And again, the fans came out and showed their support. So once again, we've been asked, fortunately, to play Soundwave this year. And again, none of this would have happened if we didn't have such great fans in Australia, and if they didn't really support us throughout the years. And we're so happy that we get to come back and see them and play shows for them. So I just want to thank all of our fans for being the best fans in the world and supporting us for so long. We really appreciate it.
And I'm sure you look forward to meeting them all personally at Soundwave.
I'll give them all back row.
Well, I'm going to be in that line. And
I'll live for you.
And speaking of small worlds, it's like looking at your Facebook, which once again is facebook.com/Zebrahead. Your general manager is none other than Chuck Norris, and John Stamos is your influence.
Yes, they've really shaped our lives. Every day they inspire us to be better people.
Yeah, somehow I don't think that's entirely true, though.
Absolutely. Chuck Norris, come on. John Stamos, Uncle Jesse.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. You've got, what I've heard of your music, it is a lot of fun, and I guess I've been listening to some of the new stuff that is full of that positive energy you were talking about, and people can get hold of that album, which is called Call Your Friends, and at zebrahead.com.
Zebrahead.com, yeah.
And of course, you've got your film clips up and everything like that, so that must be fun.
Absolutely. It's a ton of fun, and, we're looking forward to coming out and playing some live shows and hanging out with some of our fans and, coming back to Australia.
Thank you very much. It's been great talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you in February at Soundwave.
Thank you, Kat. Thanks for taking time to do this.
That's all right. Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.